Good morning, retail traders. This is Washboardjim. I'm going to talk about AMC. This will be my fourth video on the pullback, and I'm trying to look for the best time and opportunity to get into this me stock, which I highly don't respect, but I know it's going to be a pump, and I'm just waiting for that bottom support to come in. My fourth video on this me, and personally, I'm not into Hollywood. I haven't saw a Hollywood movie in years, but that don't change my mind of wanting to take the trade when it comes time to take it. Personally, I know everything about this stock, about how much of it is a pump and dump from Reddick and any other, but it gets a lot of volume. A lot of traders out there will follow this stock and hope for the best when all it's done is the worst. So we're going to go ahead and talk about AMC and what I'm thinking about how I'm going to trade it. Like I said, this is my fourth video. This is the sneaky snake trading strategy where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. AMC, Springfield. I noticed that the movies that came out last year were probably all pathetic. None of them were really good. None of them really had a good hit. Wokeism took place and really destroyed this company. It's not a very good comeback after COVID, so they have to kind of change things up. I think they need to reinvent themselves. Personally, I'm not into Hollywood. I loved Hollywood back in the day. I even wanted to be an actor at one time, but I decided to take a different path. And to me, them movies just ain't fun anymore. They're just not good. They're too political. Hollywood's got too far in politics, and now they're into wokeism, which I think can really bring this industry down big time. So we're going to go ahead and look at the finances. This is going to be only a headline-driven trade right now in my case, in my opinion. So all I'm going to do is just read the headlines. I know they're trying to pump this stock. They're thinking it's at a bottom. There's going to be a lot of people looking at this trade, and a lot of people have a lot of hope in it. I personally like to play chart patterns, moving averages, and be in the now. I'm not much of a fundamental trader, and that fits real good with this stock right here because I know they're way in debt. They have a huge debt. They have interest rates are too high for any business right now to try to make it. They have a real huge debt. We just had a reverse split on this stock, and it tanked on that reverse split. And I told everybody, I said, I ain't taking this trade on the reverse split. If I am, I'm going to buy puts and run it down. It's a me stock. It's only a me is a pump and dump. We got to make that real clear. So if you invest in AMC, you got to realize that this is just volatility driven. It's momentum driven. It has nothing to do with the fundamentals of this company, although they are getting a little bit better. But just think, we just got out of COVID. COVID was a devastating effect on this company and on the movie theater. Blame that on the government. Then we had to go through this Fed action of raising rates, which is killing almost every American in this country that has a credit card or has some kind of interest rate loan or housing loan that just not fixed. So, it's a real bad for the lower class, but it's great for the rich. The rich can really take it in on this. So there's two factors right there that's caused this company to have a huge debt. So its headline riven to me is AMC stock 90% below its all-time peak, a buy or a sell. The fundamentals, there's all the people trade on fundamentals. Basically, all I want to know is if a company has cash, and I want to read the headlines before I even take any kind of trade. I do believe that this is headline driven, and you'll start seeing the headlines change on this stock. Let's see, this Friday, the National Popcorn Day, AMC theaters celebrating with unlimited popcorn. Now, popcorn is a cheap product, but if you go in there and try to buy a basket of popcorn, it's going to cost you $20. So that's where they make a lot of their money, is through the concession stand. It's not through the movies themselves. The movies suck in 2023. That's just all I got to say about that. Like, I haven't seen a movie. I just don't go to movies. I think it's a waste of time unless you're on a date and you're entertaining somebody. So AMC closes at a record low. What's going on with AMC Entertainment stock? The 7 Mimi stocks that might actually be worse bets than AMC. AMC, 3 Mimi stocks to sell before they crash and burn. Some good news here, Taylor Swift. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan at all, but they got to reinvent themselves. That's my major. If they reinvent themselves, like, just imagine if they could post live UFC fights, charge people $20 to go to the theater and watch it, and watch a UFC fight. I think that would be great. Maybe concerts. Go to a theater, pay $20 to go see a concert on big screen. I think that would be outstanding for this company. It needs to stream the common folks and get away from Hollywood. These movies, man, they're just horrible. They're too political, in my opinion. They're shoved wokeness down our throats. Just not me. I want to go to a movie and watch a little bit of not politically correctness, maybe some like Blazing Saddles. That was a great movie, funny movie. But we had good time back in the 70s. Then it just all started changing here lately. So we got AMC Blockbuster Bust, the reality check of die-hard fans. Global box office sales have fall even further in 2024. People just don't want to see these movies. That's a problem with Disney. Oh man, what's this? So we got, according to Top Rank's consensus per share forecast for AMC's fourth quarter results in 2023 is a negative 53 cents based on reports date of February. The report will come out February 29th, earnings on the 24th. According to the Wahoo Finance, the current quarter's earnings estimate on AMC is 52 with an average estimate of 52 with a low estimate of 89. So the earnings are getting a little bit better, but they're hugely in debt. Some say $9 billion, some say $5. It's just a mess. So this stock is only going to be run by Mimi pumpers, and we got to make that clear. It's a day trade, scalper trade for me, and I'm going to show you the chart. This is video number 4 that I've done on this stock. So I called this trade out here, and we had a little pullback, and we started to consolidate. And I said, look for these kind of patterns to come out of this trade, and maybe we could go to the upside. Well, that didn't work. We had a Darvis box. She broke that triple bottom, 1, 2, 3, and went on down. Now she's broke out again with some 2-day momentum. If you read the headlines on this thing, the original Mimi stock AMC extends gains for the second straight day. That's the only thing that's going to get people's attention on this stock. It has not a thing to do with the fundamentals. AMC snaps a 6-day losing streak and registers the biggest gain in over a month. A total of 47 cents. That's my old and lucky employee number, stopped at 401. So that kind of got me a little excited. But I was talking about looking at what charts to break out of the snake. And we've had a couple snakes here, and we could be consolidating now and maybe have a run up and hit that 200 SMA on the 1 hour time frame. So let's talk about that. Let's clear this chart up, or we can just start fresh right in here. So we're going to draw out a new snake. And we're going to look for that pattern that I'm talking about. What kind of pattern can we create to bring this to the upside? There's going to be a lot of people looking at this stock that aren't well educated, that don't know. I've traded this stock. I've traded it and watched it for years. When the retail trader run it all the way up, And that's when the controversy came in with GME and AMC with the fat cats. They were questioning about what's the retail trader's stance in the market. Should they even be here? Well, we kind of confused them guys, them fat cats. And now they've been able to work with us. So let's look at this. This is called a big old head or a cup and handle. You could refer it to as a cup and handle, or you could refer it to as an inverse head and shoulders. And I'm going to draw the trend line on this. We're going to clean this all up. I just want you to be aware of what you're getting into. And this is a strategy that I built trading for the last 3 years. I've got 20 years experience behind this desk, charted over 2 million charts, and I kind of know what I'm talking about sometimes. And we have a cup and handle. Where's your handle? And we could break out to the upside and hit that 490 area and find some resistance. Now, we also have what I would call a head and shoulders, where you take a trend line, you run it from this here shoulder line to the next shoulder line, and then you got your big head right here. We'll extend this out to the right. And if this thing does pull back and bounce off that 433 level, that could be a support to come back up and break the 1, 2, 3 triple top and run it up to the 491 area. That's going to be the hard resistance to break. What is that line? That's the 200 SMA. I use it as a reference resistance on the 1 hour time frame. I use it on many time frames, but for this example, you can see we've hit this thing before. We hit it before, we hit it before, and we can hit it again, and she can pull back, find support off of this here triple top. Once it pulls back and hits that left shoulder line off the 50 SMA. We do have the 9 crossing the 21 and the 29 and the 21 9 EMA and the 21 SMA. So we're very negative in this stock right now because it's below the 9 EMA and it never could find a valuable support level off of it until the last 2 days. So these little headlines about being at an all-time low and having a 2-day run and the biggest 2-day run and blah blah, which is not much at all. It's nothing to take home to mama and brag about. But we do have a chart pattern that is a cup and handle. We also have an inverse head and shoulders, and we could go ahead and break and hit that 491 and find some resistance. And that's about the only way I'm going to look at it now. If we do break that 200 and the volume really starts to pick up in the time in sales, when you start seeing big blocks come in, watch that tape and keep reading them headlines that come in on this stock. And if it's just a little bit positive, the beginners are going to run with this and they're going to pump this stock. So that's it. 491 is my target to break. That's the 200 SMA, only if it holds the support level of the 50 SMA on this trade. Retail traders, AMC, better than 1, 2, 3. You and me, Sneaky Snake Trading Strategy, where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now.